Please.
If you sit there still in your job, how dare you? You should go, you should be out.
Finally, the victims of child abuse in Rotherham and their families have their voices heard. And their moment with the man they feel failed them.
You let my sister be naked, you let us be groomed, and you left us and put us in taxis with the groomers back to his parents.
While my granddaughter was charged with drunk disorderly at 12 years old and 4 men were allowed to walk free. Why? You were a disgrace, mate. And if I had a gun in her, I'd shoot you.
If that took place, it's an absolute disgrace. If you were alive.
Despite a vote of no confidence, he remained defiant.
My belief is that everyone shares some responsibility for keeping children and young people safe. It takes a community to raise a child, and it takes a community to safeguard and look after the interests of a child. And I believe that everyone that's been involved in delivering those services, either locally or nationally, at whatever tier in government that they are, need to search their own consciences and answer to their own actions during that period in office.
Please.
Mr. Wright, do you really think you should stay in this job? Do you really think you're the right man to continue in this role? What do you say to the victims? Outside, though, he was silent. It angered many, but surprised few, to hear him acknowledge that child sexual exploitation is still taking place on an industrial level. Only now is Holly realising what was happening to her.
Then I didn't see it as that bad, but obviously when I look back on it now, being dragged about with air by a 23-year-old man, punched in the face, made to have sex with him, it's disgusting.
And do you think it is still a problem here?
Yeah. Police aren't around that much. They don't see everything.
One woman who worked at a children's home told Channel 4 News that she felt powerless as girls were picked up on a nightly basis.
They were 13, 14, 15-year-old girls. The men were late 20s, maybe early 30s. It was just disgusting. It was heartbreaking to see them leaving the house with the men, blatantly waiting for them outside, knowing there was nothing you could do, apart from phoning the police, which you knew nothing really happened.
And what did the police say when they arrived?
When the police came, they basically said that their hands were tied because there didn't seem to be any crime. And from what I know, the home did have lots of information on the men who were coming, the cars and where they worked, and bits of details about them which had been passed on to the police, but it just wasn't acted on by the police.
Instead, she says, the girls were simply registered as missing persons until the next night.
What was the tipping point for you wanting to leave your job?
It was just the sheer frustration of seeing this happening every night, seeing the effects it had on these girls. Witnessing one of the nights, a young girl in the bathroom coming out and she'd cut her arm because she was in that much of a mess.